Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening update. If you guys smash the likes and we will go straight over to those charts. I think we are anyway. No, we're not. Wait a minute. Now we are. There we go. Right, so we've kind of drifted out the end of this pennant, as you can see. I mean, this was kind of what I expected. I didn't really expect us to break down. I expected us to break up, but I didn't expect it to play out sort of how a bull flag would play out, with obviously then rallying up basically the length of the flagpole. That's basically what I said in this morning's video. I can see us breaking out to the upside, but I can't really see us going this full length up to like over 12k. That basically is pretty much what's happened. We sort of broke out to the upside, but just not really made much progress to the upside. So it's a case of we may start to form something else now. Maybe we'll start to form an ascending triangle. Yeah, that's a possibility. So we've really just gotta analyze the candlestick patterns as they emerge now. But you can kind of see we just are realistically just digesting the big move up that we've had. Obviously it is very bullish, so the bias is to the upside. There's not really it's going to be a struggle, for put it that way, for bears to get us to really try any downside after a move like this. There's going to be all sorts of FOMO retailers waiting for their funds to clear in Coinbase before they just hit a market buy up those bitcoins. So obviously that's what happens. That's why the trend is your friend. It's market dynamics such as that. That people then will start come in and start buying, and there's just that extra upward pressure that just tips that equilibrium to keep the market tending in the direction of the trend all the time. So yeah, nothing TD wise on the 4 hour. Let's have a look at the 12 hour, because obviously we knew we had that 12 hour 9 coming, so we're on that 12 hour 9 now, and we haven't got long of this candle left either. So realistically, are we going to get an acceleration on this 9 into this resistance? Maybe. What I would say though is that obviously we've had JP, not JP Morgan, Jerome Powell, that's it, JP basically, not JP Morgan, just JP, Jerome Powell, PE Powell, private equity Powell. We've had him out basically telling us that they're going to keep interest rates low and low forever, and etc. and etc. Obviously the stock markets love that. They had a nice big rally. Gold and silver, well, gold markets liked it. Silver markets were a bit meh, a bit indifferent. But what I'm trying to say, the point I want to make though, is that the stock markets, we are quite correlated with the stock markets. Gold did move up on the news. Stock markets moved up quite strongly. But Bitcoin didn't take this opportunity on this sort of daily 9 to at least even to come in and try and test this 9,500 area. So, yeah, what can I read into that? That maybe we are just going to consolidate here and then come down and test some downside, test this resistance properly. As support, test this old resistance as support properly. I know that we did come down here really quickly and test it and then got brought back up, and that's obviously great. But when you are coming off the back of such a large move like the next candle, you're not going to come back down and stay down there anyway, because you just have to again think of the market dynamics of the situation. There's people that wanted to get long that missed it and then just got long at this level again. There's people that were shorting into it and they're going to take this opportunity to get out. So after you have the big move, there's lots of people that want to do lots of things that missed it on this move, that will do it on the next, basically straight after the next candle, or as soon as they can, as soon as they get the chance. So obviously this candle coming so soon afterwards, coming all the way down, it was always going to get bought up. Like, that's all I can say really. It was always going to get bought up either by trap shorts, or people that weren't long enough and wanted to get long. So we're having a bit more time to digest now. So now we can really get an actual real test of this old resistance as new support. Because like for the reasons I've just said, I don't really class this as one. We were never going to basically like fly up like this and then literally come down from all the way up from near 11,500 all the way down to 10,500 and then continue and then stay below. That was it just wasn't it's just not how markets work. It might be how Bitcoin works on a smaller time frame. You get those sort of savage wicks up and down, but this is a big macro move. This is a big move through important levels, and a big for the macro trend. So whilst the bots and the people, the whales, whoever may be able to play their little games on smaller time frames with smaller moves, you can't really play games with moves like this in any asset, not a move of this magnitude. So yeah, so I am, so in my mind, this is not really a back test of this, so I am still looking for a back test basically. So are we going to come up and test the underside of this resistance? Are we going to pop up, find some liquidity in here, then come down, play the zone out and have a back test? That is a likely scenario. Or are we just going to come down and just have a back test, maybe find our way through here, back test 10k and then move back up? Or I mean, you do know my views on that. Obviously, I do think realistically the level we need to back test is this 11,500, not necessarily 10k. This is a more important level than this level, so back testing that and bouncing off that is a good enough bullish indication of the overall trend, and will attract big traders to then get in and buy us through the next level. So yeah, what we can, obviously we've got this we have got this bottom of this daily 12-hour 9 candle anyway now as a point of reference. So that's basically 10,000. We call it 10,900. So basically, if we trade at 10,900 or lower, then yeah, I would expect us to be coming down to the 10,500, 10,600 zone, just based on follow through from trading below this 12-hour 9. Obviously, the daily 9, as you can see here, daily 9. Well, it's still basically holding up the price. What it's doing when we look at these 9 candles, we'll often see like a strong trend, and the 9 will come in, it'll hold up the price, and eventually we'll keep going up to the upside. So maybe that's what we're going to see. That's obviously a possibility. I mean, we are close to this level now. We're at basically 11,265. The top of this candle is 11,400 and well, just 11,440, let's call it. So it's not far at all for us to basically take out that high, push into this zone, maybe wick out this zone, maybe wick up to like 12k, and then get slammed back down, and then we can then test the underside of here and test down here. I mean, what I just don't necessarily see happening is another big, just massive green candle like this to take us all the way up to here. That's what I just think is a bit of an unlikely scenario. Not an impossible scenario, but it's just based on just how you see markets just generally trade over time. Most of the time, you'll have to digest a big move like this. And there's not really been a lot of digestion, to put it that way. There's not been a lot of digestion of this move. So we'll have a look at the stochastics. You can see the 4 hour, 4 hours held that trend line that we drew in this morning from these points. Well, didn't even get close to it before it turned back up, which is obviously good. 10 hour sort of turning back up, but this is you don't see this very often, put it that way. I mean, if we look back to try and find another example, well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to go back any further, but we can't really find one, can we? Let's put it that way. 12 hours, yeah, pretty much the same, but it is pointing up, and it takes a lot to get these 12 hours, so it's pointing back up when we're already in this high area. I mean, it wants to come back down and reset. And daily doing a similar thing. Just, well, to use our phrase from the other day, it's just jammed up there. It's just jammed in there basically. And obviously weekly turned up, which is obviously great. And we'll have a look at the monthly for the sake of completion. But yeah, the monthly getting up into the bullish half, which is clearly going to be very bullish, very bullish, guys, like incredibly bullish. And then the point that we take out this high here as well, I mean, I feel like we'll be having great things. We're having Bitcoin parties basically. Bitcoin parties. Drinks will be one sat. Because one Satoshi will be worth so much. But yeah, so Yeah, it is a bit of a quiet day, really. It is one of those days where basically you just want to trade these ranges. You kind of know you've had a big move. You kind of know you're going to digest. You sort of fade the edges of the moves. We're not really looking for a break any further upwards. Not really looking for a break of this level here. It's more just a case of just trading like just the ranges that we're in. But do I do that? Not really, no. We just basically wait for I wait for confirmations of breakouts or retests and get rejected and move back up and things like that. That's kind of what I look for. I don't really try and trade like little ranges like this. But you can do that though. You can do that as long as you're disciplined, as long as you're watching it. Basically like a hawk, you're there at your computer screen. And yeah, there's no problem with doing that. There's no problem with trading that way. But yeah, let's just have a look at these daily moving averages again. Well, not again, but we'll actually have a look at them. So you can see we've got the golden cross, obviously the 200 and the 55 period here. So we've got the golden cross, and then here's the 21 that's guiding us up. So that is another thing that we do look for, is a back test of the daily 21. So we've obviously got extended away from it. And I mean the daily 21 will be up to about, I mean, this is basically a forecast of the moving average, so you can see where it's going to be forecasted to be. So it will meet this line in, well, basically tomorrow. So will we come back and get a back test of it tomorrow? I think if you're pointing a gun at my head and tell me make a decision on what you think is going to happen, I need a definitive answer. It will be coming down to test the daily 21 and this horizontal before then playing some more upside. So that'd be my guess, guys. Yeah, that's it really. There's not a lot to say, not a lot to happen. It's just digestion of price action of this move. All very bullish though overall, like extremely bullish. That's why this needs to all settle down before we could potentially get a proper back test. So yeah, failing that though, I mean, we've got this level here. Take that out. We've got this level, this sort of zone here. But if we take that out and we don't basically get rejected, then it just will be onwards and upwards. So again, it will be a case of just market buying, just with incredibly tight stops, going for big moves, guys. And that's how you would trade this. Not financial advice, obviously. But yeah, that's it, guys. Really, it's interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Obviously bullish price action off the FOMC. So that tends to follow through. So realistically, we are looking at more upside until some monkey wrench gets thrown in the works. So what that could be, who knows in this day and age, who knows. Things that should affect the markets don't affect the markets. Things that basically shouldn't affect the markets do affect the markets. I mean, we live in a crazy world at the moment, guys, markets wise, financial wise, just everything wise, I think. But yes, that's it. Remember, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I'll speak to you guys in the morning.